Hello and a massive welcome to this video. My name is Jodie Cook. I am one of the founders of Coachvox AI. I'm also the trainer and owner of Jodie AI. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how you can promote your AI. There's going to be so many different tips and tricks and things to try that I'm really excited to share with you. Loads of them are based on things that I've tried out myself, and I know that they work, and some of them might work for you too. So definitely grab a pen and paper, definitely have somewhere next to you to scribble down notes, and I will walk you through absolutely everything. So this is all about how to promote the AI version of you. This is how to promote your Coachvox AI and how to make sure that it reaches people with your content, your frameworks, your methodologies as far and wide as possible to make as much impact as possible. And also to generate leads, to help your audience, and to potentially make you extra money as well. So I'm going to be touching on each of these three use cases in this session. But from talking to our creators, so every time I talk about someone who has created their AI version or is creating their AI version, I'm going to call them a creator. So from talking to each of our creators, we know that there are three main use cases for their AI version. One of them is to generate leads. So they see their AI version as this giant, exciting, walking, talking lead magnet that goes on their website, that collects email addresses and names and helps to nurture people through their funnel or a process to buy something else. That's the first use case. The second one is to nurture existing customers. So lots of our creators are coaches and mentors and people who have membership groups, or they have courses, or they have somewhere that people buy stuff from them and go inside a kind of private member community. So they are putting their AI version in there to add extra value to those members. We've got a smaller set of creators, but still a good few who are charging for access to their AI version. And so this one's really exciting. The idea that people are paying for AI coaching based on creators that are using our system is ridiculously exciting. And I'm going to show you a few things of how you might be able to do that as well within this session. But these are the three main use cases. I'd say that most of what I'm going to talk you through today relates to number one, so using your AI version as a lead magnet. But we're going to touch on the other two as well. I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but everything is marketing. So how you're positioned, your reputation, how relevant you can stay amongst other people who might be sharing a similar message, how much you are at the front of mind of your audience compared to someone else. I'd say how futuristic you are is marketing. Like, your audience want to know that you're going to grow with them, that you're not just there to represent their past, you're there to represent their future and to help them grow and progress, and you're going to be there for them along the whole journey. Familiarity is marketing. How well people feel like they know you and like you and trust you, and how well they feel that you're fighting their corner, that you're on their side, is all marketing. And then, of course, adding value is marketing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, how your AI version is adding value to people while you're not even there, maybe not even awake. But it's all such a big part of how you are perceived, and therefore how much you sell, or how much impact you make, or how much difference you make, and how far your message can spread. So everything that I'm going to be talking you through is just all with marketing in mind. That's what this is all about. Why promote your AI? I think the reason why our creators are so excited about everything that they're doing, and the reason why we were so excited to start this company in the first place, is because this is so newsworthy. This is so different. Your AI version as a lead magnet, for example, it's not just a regular lead magnet. It's not like some PDF or some email newsletter series or something that someone could, like a video or a course or whatever. It's actually genuinely newsworthy, because it's right on the edge of what technology is capable of right now. And I don't want to undersell that, because that's such a big part of how we're going to be talking about it when we're getting people to use it. The relevance and the valuableness and the value I've touched on a tiny bit, but your AI version is pretty much making your past content, the stuff that you've already created, you've already put the work into making, you already slaved away over your laptop for all those hours. this is where it doesn't have to sit on dusty hard drives. It doesn't have to like just be on shelves. Your books don't have to be on shelves, not being alive and not helping people. This is where they come to life. So you can almost think of your entire past bank of content becoming relevant again because it can talk to people. It might be that even in real life, someone could ask you about a concept that you wrote about like 5 years ago, but you can't really remember the framework. You can't really remember the structure. You can't really remember the advice that you give based on that. But your AI will remember. You've trained it in that stuff from all that time ago, and it can still be brought to life to help people even further, adding even more value because it's just got such a big memory. So that's also a big reason on why to promote your AI in the first place. After that, we've got scalability and we've got familiarity. So the fact that your AI version could be talking to millions of people all at the same time while you're not even there. It's truly the biggest and probably the best way of scaling yourself. So you could go on podcasts and scale yourself. You could go on, you could do a TED Talk. You could do all these things that have the potential to be seen millions and millions of times. But your AI version is about them. It's not about you. It's about your audience getting the help that they need. So if someone reads your book or if someone watches a talk that you've done, they can only they have to imagine how it applies to them. They have to rely on their own skills to be able to take your words and your advice and turn that into stuff that they can use. But your AI coach version is like having those conversations with them that is like helping them out. So I'd say it's more like journaling with you than it is just watching your content and having to make your own conclusions. And so that leads on to the familiarity, because it's like you can become insanely familiar with people, because by the time they've had multiple conversations with your AI, or maybe even one, they feel like they know you better, especially if you've trained it in such a way that it matches your language. It's got all your content in there, and it does coach and mentor in your style. So there's so many reasons to promote your AI. How I'm going to split today's session is 3 ways. So the pre-build, so while you're actually building it, if you're already there with building it, this is still relevant. This is still stuff that you can talk about because it's still quite exciting, especially to share online. And then I'm going to talk about what to do once you have built it and how you can share and market different aspects of it then. And then after that, we're going to move on to case studies and collecting case studies, and specifically how to get press for your AI version, all with the massive caveat and built on the foundations that this is newsworthy stuff. And I do not want to underplay that. When ChatGPT first launched at the end of November 2022 even, it got so many users straight away, and we might feel like we're in that arena. It's everywhere, everyone's using it, everyone's bored of it, but it's like it's still so small as a percentage of the entire business population. It's like hardly any business people are actually using just AI in general, and you're so far ahead because you're creating an AI version of you. Like it's newsworthy, it's going to be talked about, and you get the chance to just be there with all those futuristic, of the moment, relevant messages. So section 3 is really important because you can get news for this, and you definitely could not get news for just a regular PDF that you made. It's so unbelievably different. So in the pre-build, a big thing that I definitely benefited from when building Jodie AI, but also I would encourage you to do, is ask your audience questions. So this is about signposting what you're about to make and helping your audience almost like co-create it with you, because this is assuming that they're going to be using it, they're going to be talking to it, they're going to be getting value from it. What would they ask it? What would they ask it that they wouldn't ask you? So 2 ways of doing this. One is use your social media or your email list or wherever you talk to people to say, what would you ask my AI? Not just to get their responses, but also to use their responses in how you train your AI. A second way of doing this is running an Ask Me Anything. So having a session on, they work really well on Twitter, they work really well on Instagram stories, where you say, ask me anything about X, and there's a topic in there, and it's one of the topics that you're going to train your AI in. And so that serves to build up this kind of momentum for what you're actually creating, but also to help you find questions that they're going to ask that you can use to train your AI. So start this pre-build process, or incorporate some way of asking your audience questions about what your audience would ask you. Sharing the journey also can involve the Coachvox AI training rooms, and I've had some really cool responses from doing all of this stuff. So if you said to most people that you were training an AI, they'd be like, and they wouldn't really understand what it meant. So they'd think that you were coding something, or they think that you were knee deep in like prompts and, you know, lots of AI, very technical stuff. But actually, you're sliding sliders across, you're like filling out different text fields, and it's quite a user-friendly experience. So what this means is it lends itself really well to content and to also talking to people about how you're training your AI. So one of the things that some of our creators have done, and it's been really good, is take a screenshot of the style sliders with where you think you are and your coaching or mentoring style is on those sliders. So this one's set up to be a pure mentoring style, to be very straight talking, to be very informal, very challenging and fairly earnest. So share a screenshot of wherever yours is and ask your audience, is this accurate? Would you say this is how I engage with you? Because you'll probably get some insightful responses. You'll probably get some quite funny responses about how informal or formal they think you are. And it again serves to start that conversation, to get them understanding what you're doing and how much you're thinking about it. Very similar here. So in Training Room 2 in Coachvox AI, you've got the potential to set up your greetings, to set up your goodbyes, to set up how you respond to certain information. So talk to your audience about this. They will know your trademark lines. They'll know how you open conversations. They'll know how you open voice notes, or however you engage with them. So talk to them. Say like, what's the greeting that reminds you of me? Or if you were doing an impression of me, what would you say? And use that to continue the conversation of exactly what you're doing. This is Training Room 3 that I'll imagine you will be very familiar with by now. So this is about the onboarding questions that your AI will ask someone before it really gets into talking and coaching them via your AI version. So you can incorporate this into your conversations with your audience in the pre-build stage as well. So this is about asking your audience what they would want you to know before they could help you with something, or asking them even can you remember what the first question I asked you was, or can you think of something you want to tell me? It's like co-creating this process with them. So finding out what they think that you should know so that you can get your AI to do exactly that. And also a bigger thing, so that you can just talk to them about what you're doing, and so that they know that you're creating your AI with their best interests in mind, and it makes it all about them. And this is a really big key for all of this. This is about your audience and what they want. And the more you involve them in this journey of making it, the more that they'll be excited for the final product. So these are some tweets that I tried out, sent out, and used when I was training Jodie AI. And so how I made this one is I recorded a loom and then chopped bits out of it, so it kind of made it shorter, and then uploaded it to just a regular GIF maker. So I think I Googled MP4 to GIF, and I think I 2.5 times its speed, and made this funky little GIF that's really good for Twitter right now. It seems to share them quite far. And then I told my Twitter audience what I was training my Jodie AI on. And this was particularly relevant because I'd just been talking to my Twitter audience on how you become a Forbes contributor. So I was then telling them that I've trained Jodie AI in how to do it, so that they could ask her or it. And so what you could do is have a look at what you've last been tweeting about, the types of topics, the types of things that you've been informing people about or teaching people about. It doesn't have to be Twitter, it could be anywhere. And then if that relates especially to specific pages on your site, maybe articles or things you've written, show your audience how you are training your AI with that. And this just involved going to the page of my website, turning it into a PDF, and then doing that GIF process that I talked to you about. But these make really awesome tweets. There's another one here. So I've just joined this group called Hampton, and they shared on their blog like a founder story type thing. And I knew that they were going to share the founder story. I knew that it was going to go out on their Twitter. So on my Twitter, I showed that I had educated Jodie AI on what this network was all about for the inevitable questions that would happen. So what I'd encourage here is kind of preempt stuff. So if you know you've got certain collaborations coming up, if you know that you've got certain, I don't know, maybe you're doing events, maybe you're doing specific sessions, preempt that and talk about that with the kind of slant of your AI knowing about that stuff too, because that's kind of the idea, that your AI knows the stuff that you do so that it can talk to people about the same stuff. And again, it's the same process for making a GIF. It's making a loom of the process. It's turning it into a GIF. You could get your VA, you get your assistant to do it for you. And these make really cool Twitter content. Funny moments. When you're training your AI in training room 6, it is going to say some silly things at times, probably, because there's going to be some random stuff that you definitely haven't trained it on that it pretends to know about, or it doesn't pretend to know about. And so these are really funny moments, and they go down well on social media especially. So I asked Jodie AI, how do I make spaghetti bolognese? The real Jodie does not make spaghetti bolognese ever. And so I thought this was quite funny that it came out with this exact recipe, and then I thought you were a business coach, and it's like, yes, I am, but I'm still capable of providing advice on a variety of topics outside the business realm. So it's like sharing the kind of funny stuff that it comes out with so that you can be sharing that journey again with your audience. There's quite a few of these. But one of the things that happened with the AI, and this is important as well, because your AI is not you, it's an AI version of you. It's not going to be expected to be exactly like you all the time, and people won't be expecting that. So being able to poke fun at those times when it does quite funny things because it's a robot is fun. So this was one where it was like, is there anything else I can help you with? Not right now, thanks. Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, it's cool, I'm good. And it just kept going. It was kind of in this like loop that I think we've solved now. But training Jodie AI that no thanks meant no thanks was something that I shared, that people enjoyed, that again helped people know what was coming, what I was doing, and what they could look forward to chatting to in the future. This one actually relates to the style sliders, because this is the consequence of having direct as a style slider. It meant that my friend Rose, who asked Jodie AI what her favorite ice cream flavor was, just said, let's get back to business, shall we? So it's things like that that go down well on social media, because it's saying like she got a bit sassy, and then it leads other people to say, well, you're a bit sassy, or whatever else. But it's like co-creating with your audience again and letting them know the stuff that you're doing that they can look forward to. Most likely questions is another one of these. So your audience will have their most likely questions. You probably know what they are. So demonstrating that you are using those questions to train your AI demonstrates that you are creating it with their best interests in mind. And so this is one of mine. So why aren't people buying? Helping entrepreneurs know why their audience isn't buying. And then showing what your AI comes up with. One thing you could do is in training room 6, you could make a loom of you actually training your AI on these types of questions. So imagine the biggest question that your audience ever asks you. Hit record on Loom, type it into training room 6, and then see what your AI comes out with. See if you're happy with it, rate it 5 stars, respond. If you're not happy with it, rate it like 3 stars, and then respond, and then change the answer to what you would do, and like kind of show your audience how you are making it sound like you and respond in your way as well. It just shows them the behind the scenes, which helps them get more on board with it and helps them feel familiar with it, even maybe before they've spoken to it. One question that you might get asked, or we definitely get asked a lot, is about the ethics of AI and about how, like, what happens if it gives certain advice that isn't good, or what happens if it gives advice that like causes people harm or something. And we've tested this a lot. Kimberly, who's our community manager, who many of you will have met via email, she tested Jodie AI on a lot of different questions, like, it was like, do you believe in God? It was like, what do you think about, and like all these random things that she could come up with, that Jodie AI could come up with very controversial opinions about, I'll say. And what she actually came out with was very ethical, very neutral. And so that's quite cool. to share out there, because what we want to show is that we're creating these AIs that are going to be good for the world, that are going to help people, not ones that are going to just be a bit dodgy. So one thing that I asked Jody AI about is, how can you make me rich really quick? Because I wanted to find out what it thought about get rich quick schemes. And you'll see that actually someone responded to say Jody AI is ethical, awesome. And I've shared this a few times in various different ways, and it's cool, the response that it gets and the kind of things that people are interested in. So sharing this just in case it helps you in some way. And then this is about like the process of training it, and kind of teaching someone that how you can train your AI, or how I train my AI, how you train your AI, is based on exactly you. And it's really kind of simple. So you've got your coaching style, you've got uploaded your content. It's like, you want people to be able to see the inner workings of how it's made, because then they can see that it's been like made for them, because that's what this is all about. So another angle behind this is you as a thought leader. So you're already a thought leader because you've already created enough content to be able to train an AI with. But the point of this one is not just to kind of, we've got like a sharing the chat here, showing people what's coming, but also telling them exactly what it can help them with. Your audience will know what you help them with. They'll have read your books, they'll have read your articles, they'll know your topics, they'll have like 5 or 6 topics in their head for what you can specifically advise on, but tell them as well. So for example, I told my audience that mine was based on helping people solve challenges about starting and running a business, and it was all on my existing frameworks that they're familiar with. So the idea is that they know what's coming in advance. They can start thinking, oh, what would I ask Jody AI? What would I ask Alice AI? What would I ask Rick AI? And they've got this in their heads already, and they're excited to get involved. So that's in the pre-training phase. And now once trained, there is more stuff that you can do. And I'm going to kind of go through all these answers to see if any of them are useful for you. Of course, you don't have to do all of them, but if there's any that you think, yes, that would be really straightforward for me to do, or that would be really effective, drop them down, make it happen, because all of these are going to serve to help your website convert better into email addresses, or just help more people to access your AI. So I use a platform called Ghost for my website, and it's got this banner thing at the top where I've put get coached by an AI version of me, meet Jody AI. But you might have a website platform that enables the exact same thing, or maybe this kind of sentiment, this get coached by an AI version of me, meet your name AI, could be relevant almost anywhere on your page. One of the things that you could do is go to your Google Analytics and sort your pages by the number of visits they get, and have a look at your most visited pages, and then see if there's anywhere on that page that you could embed your AI version, or that you could even take people to the main page that your AI version is on. So use the stuff that you've already got, especially if you want your website to convert better. You'll probably know the number of hits you get and the number of people who end up becoming a subscriber in one way. But this might help. This might help more people become subscribers, and therefore join your list, be in touch with you for longer, and get more familiar with your content. Email signature is another really quick win. If you haven't got this already, it could be as simple as adding a PS. Feel free to use I turn myself into a robot. You could use the wording from the previous message, which was get coached by an AI version of me. But I mean, it's free. It's 24/7. There's not really a reason that someone might not want to check it out. So if you have an email list already, creating a newsletter type update about your AI version could be a good idea. So I've popped these bullet points on the screen just to talk you through how to do it or what you can include, but definitely put it forward as an announcement, because it's new, it's exciting. Chances are they haven't ever received one of these messages before, because maybe no one else they follow or know about has got an AI version. So you could be the first here. And then after that, it's how to use it. So you will know the topics that your audience are likely to ask about, or the types of things they're struggling with. So signpost that they are the topics that they can ask your AI, because you've trained it in those topics. You could always use some wording like free or 24/7 access to my brain, or something that shows how easy it is for them to get help. And then if you feel like you want to sell it further or need to sell it further to your audience. It's about no judgment is quite a big part. So some of the feedback that we've received from clients of our creators is that they love that they can ask stupid questions that they probably wouldn't ask a real person because they'd feel like they were being judged or they'd feel silly. But you can ask an AI coach because it's not going to judge you and it doesn't matter. The no cost thing is big, and the always available thing is big. And then add a call to action in your email newsletter for how they can sign up. But for these people, because they're already on your email newsletter, it's going to be, it's not really a case of collecting their email address because you've already got it. It's about adding more value, becoming even more closer to them, and maybe seeing this as like a middle of the funnel exercise because you're trying to help build familiarity with them even more. I want to show you this as well. And this is about creating a specific page on your site where your AI is embedded, but also there's some text around what it's there for and what it can help people with. So name it something like this. So I've got your 24/7 AI business coach. Yours might be your AI recruitment coach or your something else, or like whatever yours is, name it that so people know straight away what it does. The first sentence on mine is around meet Jodie AI and here's what she does, here's what she can help you with. And then after that, it's how it's been trained with bullet points on the types of stuff that you can ask it. That's big because you do want to signpost what people can talk to your AI about. And then I've got this bit in bold is Jodie AI is trained as a coach. So she's going to ask questions to help you find the answers to challenges rather than give you the answers. So whatever you need to type there to help pre-frame how someone should engage with your AI will help them have a better experience. And then we've got a disclaimer. So definitely include a disclaimer on your page somewhere. We do want to make it clear that this isn't a real person. It's an artificially intelligent model. You can't be held responsible for the advice given, and that people should exercise due caution. Definitely include that there. Something quite interesting about this page is it started ranking on Google for AI business coach. And so we would love if yours did exactly the same. So AI astrologer, AI recruitment coach, AI marketing coach, AI business mentor, whatever it might be, definitely include that there in the text on the page, and that will help it go even further as well. Right, onto social media. And so this one is interesting because we asked these questions out from my Twitter, which isn't huge. It's not a real big Twitter account. But we asked these questions out from my Twitter so that we could get articles created from the response. So if you'll notice here, I use the hashtag journo request that helps it be seen by more people. And I asked people about if they would use an AI coach. And so here yours could take the exact same format, and that's would you take the advice of an AI something coach? And so whatever style of coach yours is, fill in that blank and tweet it out or share it out wherever you're online. And then you could say that you're writing a feature or you're collecting answers for something. And this said for an article in Forbes, it could be for a case study, it could be for some press or for some outreach or for a blog post or whatever it might be. But chances are you'll get quite a few responses on this because people will have strong opinions because AI does divide people. And I had people going, yeah, I would use it for the reasons that I've talked to you before, which are things like because it's not judgmental or they're available all the time or no one's going to cancel on me. But then you had, no, of course I wouldn't use one. It wouldn't be empathetic. It wouldn't do this. It wouldn't do that. So it very much splits people. So ask people for their opinion. And so for this example, what we made, what was pretty cool, is a article that was called, Would You Trust the Advice of an AI Business Coach? And then seeded that to certain different publications. So Startup Magazine is a really good one because they take submissions like this on board. You can write it up as like a one-pager, and then this isn't exactly what I wrote, but they edit it into a piece that then comes out. And then you can use that again to share with your audience and to say, hey, we've got this, our AI coach is featured in this magazine. Like, let's talk about it some more. And it furthers the discussion and it gets more people back to your AI. So it's literally sending out something like this, using these quotes that you will inevitably get in the answers to talk more about this whole concept of AI coaching in your specific field, and then getting press and it going further. So this is Yota, and she is another one of our creators, and she is a coach and she talks about technology. She helps people use AI and technology in their businesses. And she does a lot of speaking. And so one of the things that she's done that's super interesting that I wanted to share with you is she's started including her AI version in the list of things that are kind of included when she speaks. So she'll quote to speak at an event and she'll have a certain price for it. And then she'll say, and I will do this talk. I will make a page on my website for following up. And I'll also give you access to my AI version so that attendees can follow up and can be coached and mentored on the topics I talk about. This is cool, especially because she's speaking at tech conferences. The organizers really, really like that she's got something extra to give. And so she includes that in her pitches. She includes that in her responses and her proposals. And invariably, she gets the gig over other people who don't have an AI version. So feel free to use that inspired by Yota if it's applicable for you. So this one is something that might work for you if you have courses or if you have a membership site of some sort. So the screenshot on the screen right now is from Teachable. So on Teachable, I have a course and I created a module that's called Get Support from Jodie AI. You might recognize the text that's on that page because it's straight from the copy on the website. And then I went to Training Room 7, got the embed code and embedded that in here. So what this now means is that people who take this course can talk to Jodie AI about the stuff that's in the course and talk to them about different things based on my content. This is super easy to do. And it's a very good quick win to give more value to your members in the content and the resources that you've already got. So this relates to use case number 2. If you remember back at the start, this is all about how your existing members or your existing customers can get more value out of your existing products. This one's pretty cool as well. So in Training Room 7, you will see an embed code, but within that embed code, there is a link, and that it's got Coachvox.ai in it. It's got the word avatar in it, and it ends with /embed. And so this link in itself, if you were logged in to app.coachvox.ai and you open that in a new page, it would be basically your version of Training Room 6. So you'd be able to talk to it, you'd be able to rate responses and do everything else. If you give it to someone else who isn't you, that's just the link that they could use to chat to your AI version wherever they are online. If they're opening it on their mobile, they could go to their settings and they could add this to their home screen. And that's super cool because you want this to be accessible to your audience members, to your clients. And so I'm going to copy the text for this set of instructions below, but this is how you could tell them that they can add you to their home screen to be talking to you all the time. So feel free to use that if you think it's useful. Something else that we set up is an email nurture sequence. So when you talk to Jodie AI, we collect a name and we collect an email address, and then we put that information into MailChimp, and then this gets people to join like a automated sequence that pretty much asks them to check in for their AI coaching session. And so this one is the first email. It's around let AI coaching solve all your problems. It's about the kind of ethos behind AI coaching. It's about like the topics that this specific AI coach can help you with. Because I've said this before, but this is really important to teach people what they can talk to your AI about. So you make sure they have really good conversations. And then the call to action in this email is for people to get more AI coaching. So you're sharing more about the ethos behind it. So you could probably picture this setup, but for your business and related to your AI coach. The second email in this series is checking in for your AI coaching session. And so this is opening up with the questions that a coach might ask. So how's your week going so far? What's on track? Where's your time and attention best spent? And sending a reminder that this AI coach is there to guide you. You are totally welcome to use any of this text whatsoever. Feel free to copy all of it, to chop and change as you see fit. But definitely put this in place if you think it's appropriate and if you think this might be a good way of getting more people to chat to your AI version. So testimonials, this is about everything being marketing, everything being sales, and that even if you do have your AI version, you still have to almost convince people to want to use it. And what really helps here is testimonials. So asking people who you know have signed up, and you will know they've signed up because they'll have put their email address in, asking them to tell you how their experience was will lead to sentences and paragraphs like this that then you could put on the site next to where your AI chat is embedded. So find the most hard-hitting stuff. Of course, ask for their permission. Ask for their permission to use their name, their company name, and their picture, and then put them on there to help direct other people through to the chat to get the same benefits that they can. I would highly recommend doing this. We know that social proof is such a big part of why people are influenced to do certain things, and this is a very quick and easy way of doing it with your AI version. So this is something I'm super excited about. One of our creators is called Rick, and he's super awesome. He has a podcast called The Art of Online Business. He's a very popular coach mentor in the marketing space, and he is launching Pick Rick's Brain AI. So he has collected a waitlist of quite a lot of people, and I think he's charging $10 a month for access to his AI version. This is the page where he's promoted that. And so you can see in true marketing style, because he's very good at this, he's got all the perfect copy for getting people signed up to his waitlist. He actually also did a podcast episode on this. So I've put the link there so that you can listen to it. But this is where he talks about how he's been training it, why he's been setting up an AI coach, what value it's going to bring. And then that links people to the page, which is the one I just showed you, where people can sign up. He's put a screenshot of the chat so that you can see what you're going to, so people can see what to expect. And he built a really cool waiting list and is ready. That's pretty cool. If you're thinking about charging for access to your AI version, this is an absolute textbook way of doing it. Just some quick ideas here for social media if you are thinking about sharing your AI version on that. So a really easy place for lots of people to see it is in your Twitter bio. You can edit where it says location, and you can put get trained by an AI version of me there. And then in the link, you could put your embed code. You could put the URL that we give you in Training Room 7, and that would send people straight there. It's an email capture because that's the first thing someone has to do. So it marks for a really natural lead magnet, and it's newsworthy, it's relevant, it's groundbreaking. It's all of those things that we've described. One thing you could do as well is take a screenshot of the chat, and you could have it as your pinned tweet. So it could almost be like, it's almost kind of saying that you're not on Twitter all the time, but your AI version is there all the time to chat to and having it as your pinned tweet. So it makes your Twitter account actually more engaging, because people know that even if you're not online, they could still chat to you, they could still get answers. I've realized that I've said Twitter and it's actually called X now, but we'll call it Twitter for now. Instagram bio is exactly the same. Instagram post or stories is quite a good place to share this stuff, especially in stories, because you can share your AI version, you can share a link, you can see who goes through, and you can also have conversations with people about the types of stuff they would ask it. Maybe they might want to know if it can help with certain things before they give it a go. So it's a good place to get engagement, especially if you're big on YouTube, or if you've got a YouTube channel. This is where, quite similar to how Rick did his podcast episode, you could do a YouTube intro video. I would even do a Loom of you training it, of you talking to it, of you kind of showing the behind the scenes of how you've trained your AI to add the most benefit to people. LinkedIn as well is a good place to go and to update and to let people know that you have an AI version of you. We've seen a couple of our creators do like contests almost. So it's where they find out how people have been chatting to their AI version. It's where they've found out the types of quite strange requests that it's been helping people with. So if you've got anyone quite fun in your network, seeing if they want to, they could even record a Loom of them chatting to your AI that they could share with their network, that could then start conversations and help spread it more wide as well. Okay, so we're on to the third section, and this is case studies for press. And this one is a multi-stage process, but everything we've talked about so far is kind of for your audience and for the people who visit your website and for your network, and trying to turn those into people who come and talk to your AI version. This is very much about sharing it sharing it further and sharing it wider. And quite excited about this as well, because I've spoken to a few of you about this, and the potential is huge for press. So what is involved in this bit is creating a trial. So this is a tweet that I shared, and it started off with, would you get coached by an AI business coach? And this is where I said I was looking for about 10 volunteers to check in with an AI business coach twice a week and report their findings. And then it said that all they had to do was simply chat to the AI coach and record their experience. I asked for 10 volunteers. I actually got 40. I use the hashtag journey request, and that's important because this will help your tweet, if you share it on Twitter, go much further. You are very welcome to use all of this copy. You could copy it exactly with my love and my best wishes, and I don't mind at all. See what you get back. And the idea is that you save these people and you collect their responses. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing that I made is an onboarding form, and this is a very simple type form. It collects a few different pieces of information. The link to the type form is below. Again, you're very, very welcome to go to visit, to copy all the questions, to copy it exactly. But this essentially onboards people with the information that you want to know about them to set up this trial. So the onboarding form asks people what they're looking to achieve in their life and business, and there's all these things that they can choose from there. Asks them what challenges they are facing at the moment, and asks them what they would have loved to achieve in the next 30 days. It also asks for a pledge that they can check in with their AI coach at least 5 times in the next 30 days. So the idea here is that you are setting up this 30-day trial that they can get involved in. That means that they will chat to your AI version at least 5 times in that next 30 days. And that's all you want people to do. It's super straightforward. After that, once you've got your people, you launch this trial. And so we did this via emails. So it was super simple Gmail emails, which is, here's your reminder to head to this page, chat to Jodie AI about a challenge you're facing, and then record your experience. It's super simple. We scheduled these out to the trialists. We also said if you spot anything strange, like definitely let us know in the form. But that was it. And a lot of them did it. We had a high response to these emails to people who had pledged to do it. And maybe there's something in that. They've pledged to do it. They're people of integrity. They want to show that they stick to their word. And then they went to chat to Jodie AI, and then they went to record their responses in the next form, which was here. And the links below, again, you're welcome to copy, emulate any part of it. And this is your AI business coaching check-in. So you might want to embed this on a page on your site somewhere that maybe is /check-in. But we pretty much asked 4 questions here. So it was, what did you talk to Jodie AI about today? It was, what are you going to do next? And it was, did this conversation make you think, inspire a new action, or provoke a change in your behavior? And then it was, which describes your conversation with Jodie AI? So that's all someone had to do. They had to have the conversation, and then they had to assess how good it was. A lot of them wrote quite a lot of information in the first 2 especially. And this was all really useful when we were putting together this trial. So after the trial, so at the end of those 30 days, what we did was we sent people individual emails to say, thanks for checking in with Jodie AI. We wanted to ask some post-coaching questions. And so this is all so that you can collate case studies and so that you can find out how valuable it was, so that you can use this for press and for stories. And so what we did with each of these was we actually found the responses where they had said game-changing or very useful. I think we actually ignored the ones that said somewhat useful, and we ignored the ones that said not useful because there wasn't too much from there. But for the people who said that something or multiple engagements were very useful or game-changing, we copied them below, and then we sent them back to them, and then we were like, tell us more about this. So can you comment on any changes in your business since then? And this is where you've said the advice was very useful. Can you add anything else about it? Could you add any more general comments about having an AI coach? Send this to as many people as you can. But remember, you're not necessarily looking for 100% success rate in the responses you get back. You're not necessarily looking for everyone to say, yes, it was game changing. This has changed everything. You're looking for those few amazing responses that you can use to take further. And so I just want to show you one of the ones we got here that was really cool. So this is one of Jodie AI's clients. And so they said, this these 3 paragraphs to answer these 3 questions around their turnover increasing, around some specific advice they got about networking, and also we've got that kind of zero judgment and feeling safe theme coming up again in the third one. So you definitely don't have to read all this. I have taken some of the key phrases out of this. And so you've got, since July, our turnover has increased by 20%. And then something that referred to a change that they made that was a huge weight off their shoulders, how they felt talking to an AI coach, and also the fact that they followed some of the tips. This is information to turn into a story, because this is cool. If you actually think, like, we're so in this world now that we're just like, oh yeah, you talk to an AI coach and you grow your business like normal, but it's not normal. It's not normal. It's crazy, ridiculous that this is the world we live in, and it's newsworthy, and we cannot forget this, because this is the stuff that makes press. So how we go about turning this into press is using our friend ChatGPT, or you could actually type this into Jody AI. You could actually type it into your AI and see what it comes out with. And so I've put on the left-hand side a prompt that you can use. So it's, I have a business that uses AI to coach people. Give me 10 headlines that could help my company go viral. And there's the example here, which is, I let an AI be my fitness coach for 30 days and lost 10 pounds. And then I've got, use this feedback to create the headlines. So what I want you to include here is the examples from the trial that you set up, and put them in there and see what it comes out with. And in the part where it says you have a business that uses AI to coach people, write what kind of coach you are. I know that within our creators, there's such a wonderful, broad range of AI coaches. Definitely put that in there as well. And so what happened when we put this into ChatGPT, was it came out with all these headlines. And so you can just see, you can imagine these in press, you can imagine these in news sites. So just want to draw your attention to number 11. So I conquered my fear of public speaking with the help of an AI coach. So if you were a public speaking coach or a presentations coach, you've trained your AI, it's been creating change for people through the trial that you've run. You've got these quotes, that could be your headline, that could match the change and the benefit that you've created in people. Same with the AI meditation coach, which is number 18. Same with 19. There's loads of these. And what I would like you to do, what would be cool for you to do, or for someone in your team to do, or even enlist kind of ChatGPT's help in creating the entire article, would be turn those quotes that you've got into some kind of article, some kind of press release that uses that headline, and then pitch it to journalists. There are journalists everywhere who write about this stuff. So I think I just Googled here, artificial intelligence journalists, but each of these people on the screen, they write about AI in some fashion for some news outlets. They will have their email addresses available. This might be like an hour's task for a VA or for someone on Fiverr or Upwork to get you a list of people who could write about this stuff, and then to email them and to say, hey, I've got a headline that I think would be good for you, and link it back as well to your Twitter or your LinkedIn or wherever you've been talking about this stuff so far. Follow them there, like engage with them there, tell them about what you've been working on, because they're interested in this stuff. And you might be the first like recruitment coach that's helped someone to double their salary. You might be the first meditation coach that's helped someone to lower their blood pressure. Like, we're in the realm of world firsts, and that is really newsworthy. So the sooner you can get this trial set up for success, the sooner you can get people coming out with their testimonials, the sooner you can speak to journalists, get press, and help this go far and wide, which then brings even more people back to your AI version, talking to you, building your network, building your influence, making it a really insanely valuable lead magnet. So we've covered so much there. If you are still here right now, thank you so much for sticking with me. I really hope that's been valuable. What I would suggest first, let me move myself back over here, is find the quick wins. So finding the quick wins means figuring out what platforms you are already on and using those first. You don't have to set up Twitter from scratch if you're not already on it. You don't have to start anything from scratch. See what you've got now, the networks that you're in, the social media platforms that you're already on, and see what you can do on those first. If you've got any more suggestions, definitely feel free to send them my way. I'm happy to make a follow-up one of these. Let me know what else you've tried. We can share our tactics. I will keep messing around, conducting experiments with Jodie AI, and I will keep feeding back to you what I come up with to help you get yours go further. And we are always all ears for all of this stuff. Everything I've talked about is going to be on coachvox.ai/promo. I'll put the text on there so that you can copy and paste everything. You are welcome to use any of our copy, anything at all that, any ideas that we've come up with, just anything. Don't worry at all about copy and pasting it. We want to support you. We want you to win. We want you to be super successful, and we will keep creating stuff in order to help you do that. If you do have any questions, then hello@coachvox.com will reach me, or will reach Kimberly and the rest of the team. And yeah, wishing you all the very best with your AI. See you soon.